Hey there guys, welcome to Collections Volume 11 here on the channel. I'm actually going to be doing this Collections Volume a little bit different than ones I've done in the past. Number one, I'm going to be doing this one face to face rather than actually doing it at my workstation. And number two, this Collections Volume is going to be all about paintings because I just had my contest about paintings, and in the spirit of the contest I kind of wanted to throw together a Collections Volume with a whole bunch of paintings. Okay, so let's jump right into this here. Now, some of these paintings you have seen before in previous collections volumes because I have sprinkled paintings into a few collections volumes over the past, but most of them are pretty new, so I'm going to show you those as well. So let's get started here on Collections Volume 11, which is all paintings. Alright, so the first one I want to show you is called Union Jack, which is pretty appropriate considering it is a Union Jack flag. And we'll zoom in a little bit here. I'll use my camcorder to zoom in so you can see the painting up close. It definitely is a very nice painting. I made this a while back and it did come out really nice, so I think you guys can see that on there. Definitely a very nice painting. So I'll kind of duck back here in between paintings so I don't take up the entire screen here. Next one I made here is kind of an all-white with a red here. This is an emblem from a trading card game I used to play way back in the day, so definitely a really cool painting to make, which is really neat. I did rough it up a little bit on the edges. You probably can't see it too much, but I did rough it up to make it look a little bit cooler, but you probably can't see it even in HD, so that's kind of wasted on camera. But those are the first two ones I wanted to show you. Next one I want to show you is pretty sweet. I'm sure you're all familiar with my Sonic wallet, which I showed in Collections Volume 3, I believe it was. I did make a Sonic painting a while back, which is pretty sweet, so you can see that on here. It's pretty much exactly the same Sonic logo which was on the wallet, except it's on a painting, and it is much, much bigger. This one was actually a lot easier to make because the painting was so much bigger, the pieces were a lot easier to cut out, and I thought it did come out pretty sweet. So you can see the Sonic emblem on there, Sonic the Hedgehog, definitely a cool character. It is on electric blue tape with a whole bunch of different colors in there to make up Sonic, and was made using puzzle decoration, which is a pretty sweet painting. The next one here was actually the sample painting which I made for my painting tutorial where I showed you guys how to make a painting in the tutorial. This was the sample one which I showed. It's kind of got a whole bunch of rainbow color patterns on it. It just kind of using a whole bunch of different colors as well as the black. I guess it's supposed to be the sun. I'm not really sure what I was thinking when I made this painting, but anyway, it is a pretty cool painting. It's definitely kind of got an abstract effect to it. It's got a whole bunch of different colors. Pretty much goes through the rainbow, starts in the center, and kind of works its way around or something. I'm not quite sure what I was thinking when I made this one, but nevertheless, it is a pretty cool painting. Alright, these next two you're probably going to recognize from the contest because I made these paintings about 3 or 4 weeks before the contest, but a lot of people did actually make paintings which had these two emblems in it in the contest. I saw a lot of them. I think about 3 or 4 or so people did the Transformers logos. So this was one I made all black on the background with a white and red Autobot logo. This one was called Autobots Roll Out, which is pretty appropriate, which is really neat. All of these paintings are on canvas, by the way. I like to put all my paintings on canvas because I think it looks pretty professional when you do put them on canvas. And if you want to hang them up, it makes it pretty easy as well. So that was the first one I made, which was the Autobot logo on it. I did make a Decepticon logo one as well, which you can see here. These logos aren't exactly that big. They're actually kind of small, but I definitely wanted to just spend the time, make it nice and perfect, and then stick it on there and just kind of give it just a nice clean look on there with the painting. This one's got just a simple gray background with the purple Decepticon logo, and this one is called To Punish and Enslave, which was the kind of the mock logo on the side of the Barricade Transformer in the first Transformers movie. So I definitely named it that after that scene in the movie and that emblem on the side of the car. So that was definitely a pretty cool painting to make. So you've got your Decepticon logo here, and if I can get my Autobot logo up here, you can see two of those logos, which is pretty cool. So I wanted to show you both of those on camera. The next one is a U.S. Army painting that I wanted to make for a very long time. I actually made they put the canvas here, and I stuck down this whole bunch of digital camouflage on it like a year ago, and I never put the logo on the actual painting, but I finally got around to doing it, so this is what it looks like. It kind of looks like a sticker for some reason on camera. I'm looking at it, and it kind of does look like a sticker, but hopefully you can tell that it is tape. You can see the glare on it there, and it is pretty cool. I'll zoom in a little bit on this so you can see it. It's definitely a very cool painting, kind of just made in tribute to all of our troops, and it does look a really cool painting to see in person. So got a little bit of white, black, and yellow on there for the Army emblem, as well as on all that digital camouflage, which just makes a great background for this emblem. So that's the next painting I wanted to show you. This next one that I want to show you is kind of a funny painting. It's kind of a mini painting which I made. I kind of just ran with the idea. This one's called No Signal, and it's kind of a spoof on the No Signal screen which pops up. It kind of has like all those color bars with a whole bunch of bars on the sides and on the bottom. Not quite sure why I decided to make this one, but I thought it was just a pretty funny painting to make. And it is definitely something I would put up on the wall just because it is pretty random. So definitely a really cool painting. This one's a smaller painting. This one's 8 inches by 10 inches rather than the other ones which are 9 inches by 12 inches. So definitely a smaller painting, but I think it is pretty sweet to look at. And it's incredibly simple to make. It's just a whole bunch of bars with a whole bunch of little squares on the bottom. That's it. But it does look pretty cool. And of course we are going to wrap up this collections volume with Lady Gaga on a painting. But this is actually Lady Gaga before she was Lady Gaga. This is when she was back and best known as Stephanie Germanotta. And this was actually the cover album art for Red and Blue, which was an extended play that she released in 2006. So about 2 years before The Fame was released, she released this album. And it was, definitely listen to this album. It's got about 5 songs on it, but it's definitely a lot of her earlier material, and I still think it's pretty awesome to listen to. So this was the album cover for that, and you can see it says Stephanie and Red and Blue on there as well. So I'll zoom in a little bit so you guys can see the detail on this one. Hopefully you guys can see part of her hair and everything and her dress that she's wearing. Her lips are actually made with the pink that came on the pink with white polka dots rather than actually being the hot pink, because hot pink was actually kind of too bright for her lips. So the pink from the pink and white polka dot works a lot better for the lips on a lot of the paintings and stuff like that. So that's the last painting I wanted to show you. Definitely wanted to wrap it up with her, and it's just got the album cover with a whole bunch of chrome around the side, kind of giving it a little bit of a contrast, which is really neat. Okay, so that pretty much wraps up Collections Volume 11. I feel much better now that my face isn't taking up the entire screen, so it's much better being zoomed out a little bit. I feel like I can breathe again. But anyway, that pretty much wraps up this Collections Volume, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. There are a lot of cool paintings in there, and hopefully this inspires you to make your own paintings. If you didn't enter the contest and you want to make some cool paintings, I do have a tutorial up on it. If you want to check that out, it's up here, and that's where you'll see I made that painting over there with all a bunch of rainbow stripes on it. I did recently post a video on the new butterfly duct tape, which Duck Brand is releasing pretty soon, so I just wanted to show you that on video once again. You guys can check this out in a video over here, and I just posted it like literally a few minutes ago, so you'll be able to see that as well on the channel. So take care, I'll catch you guys next time, and hopefully you enjoyed this Collections Volume 11.